Well, hello everybody. It is me, Countess. I hope everybody is doing well out there in the world, wherever you may be. Hello. So today I kind of want to go over a few kind of different sporadic topics. I'm still working on this video that I'm going to be making. I'm still trying to compile different sources and stuff to reiterate my theory that I'm kind of going with here. So that will be coming down the pipeline soon. But in the meantime, I thought that we could go over a couple of different stories. So I was flipping through the lyrics today, and because I wanted to highlight a story in the lyrics about the song Teddy Boy, and I wanted to reference the story from the lyrics and show you, the story from memoirs. Just as the first page of memoirs tells us, the memoirs of Paul McCartney, you should get both sides of the story, right? So I just thought that I would share that with you guys. I thought it was kind of interesting what memoirs talks about in relation to that song versus what Billy says the song is really about. So anyways, but while I was looking through lyrics, I scrolled past a picture. This picture is an interesting one, as you will see. Yes. There's Billy in the tub, right? All soapied up and kind of a weird shot, right? So this picture just totally made me think back to the memoirs, and I will show you why. So it is on page 161 of the memoirs. It is the bottom footnote of this page. First off, the numerology, you get 1 plus 6 plus 1 equals 8. The number 8 stands for sort of like overcoming an obstacle, like being the victor in a situation. So it kind of ties into him, doing, being involved in the transmigration of Paul McCartney's soul into his own being and vessel for Paul, so that Paul and Billy both reside in the same corporeal body being. It's very deep stuff. Anyways, I just wanted to, this picture just made me laugh and it made me think of this footnote. So I just wanted to read it to you guys. So I'm going to start at the very bottom. Everything became hurried. I dyed my hair. Brian took pictures and then described many of the different ways that about Paul's different mannerisms is what the next page, what that sentence ends as. So let's go to the footnote. This day began William's hair dyeing practice, which would continue for most of his life. Dye concealed his reddish blonde hair, then gray hair, and now white hair. On at least 3 occasions, while sitting in a bathtub, William applied a protective coating of petroleum jelly to his manhood and scrotum, and then used a wash rag to apply ammonia-free hair dye to the rest of his body. On each occasion, he was delighted to show off his dyed body hair. He made a point of being seen entirely naked and of having Linda take photographs intended to seem candid. What? Having Linda take photographs intended to seem candid. So he was just like being an exhibitionist, I guess, and just going for it. Proud of having dark body hair. You go, Billy. Let your freak flag fly. Okay. Usually he only dyed his hair in areas of his body that he expected the public to see. Early on, preferring the freedom of an open shirt, he often dyed his chest hair. Ew. Later, for the freedom of not having to dye body hair, he chose either to wear crew neck shirts or to keep his shirts buttoned above the chest hairline. With this disclosure, he says he now might as well stop dyeing his hair entirely. Yes, I would say that's a little bit TMI, right? But this picture totally made me laugh and think of that footnote, and I just wanted to share that little share it with you guys. Okay, so enough being super silly. So I want to go speaking, since we're in memoirs still. Let's go over to page 205. And 205 is, again, the numerology, right? Your 2 plus 5 equals 7. 7 is looked at as a number of good luck. It is also a divine number. It's a symbol of perfection and also eternal life. Alchemy, right? Transmigration of Paul's soul. So anyway, this footnote says about the song Teddy Boy. Teddy Adorno applied his musical genius to his ambition for global consciousness transformation. He fully supported the Stanford Research Center plan to change society through music. Their plan, enlarged upon by others, was to cast a net wide enough for the entire rising generation, and as many others as would come. That's interesting imagery. Cast a wide net in the age of Pisces, maybe? I don't know. That's just what came to my mind. I've been into this stuff way too much. It's just like saturating into my brain, you guys. I see it everywhere. And like either, yeah, anyways. Okay, let's continue. They would start with silly love songs, since that was popular at the time, and because it would hook the simplest of listeners, the profane people out there, the herd, right? Once hooked, the ever-increasing fan base would be guided through a maturation process, turning their music against outmoded thinking in favor of revolution, of awakened consciousness. Pause that. Now see, revolution, that is a word that comes from the idea of socialism. Okay. Along with oppressive institutions, speaking of socialism, individual personalities would be dissolved globally and then rebuilt, transformed. There you guys go again. Solve et coagula. Dissolve and bind. Alchemy again, guys. Yes. Teddy claimed to despise his own shallow music, except as a means to the greater transformative end. William, like Teddy, understood that the early Beatles music was trite in order to capture the youngest generation, and that it was evolving to be much deeper. Teddy Boy, quote unquote, objected to William's comedic work, which did not teach people to, quote unquote, be good. However, Bill and Ted share the desire to create philosophically interesting music. It's Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, you guys. I'm so sorry, guys. Oh, wow. Okay. I just have to laugh at this stuff sometimes. Okay. Sorry. However, Bill and Ted shared this desire to create philosophically interesting music that would trigger introspection. William joined the band to create meaningful and provocative music that would change how people think. He did not join to write more silly love songs. He just saved that for his own band, Wings. It's like, I don't understand why they like infer that those silly love songs are just so, meaningless. I guess that was the point, right? For them to be meaningless in the sort of like, what is it, modeled after the cult of Dionysus and their music and like the beat and the drums and stuff like that. This stuff goes back so far. It's just a trip, guys. So I just wanted to quickly share the story from the lyrics about Teddy Boy. So it's not very long at all. So the numerology on this page, which I kind of find a little interesting, and I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. So you get 6 plus 9 plus 5, and that equals 20 total. Okay, and then 2 plus 0 reduces to the number 2. So the number 2 can represent balance. It can represent like you're finding your true life purpose. It can also stand for duality, right? So again, like duality is a reoccurring theme with Mr. Billy McCartney, as well as alchemy. It's all, he even said in that one, I think I posted in one of my last videos, one of the I Am a Phony videos. I might attach it to this one again. He says, the Beatles were a very magical thing, and that magic exists, and that's a very metaphysical and alchemical process. He says that. I will attach that video onto this just so you guys can hear it again. Anyways, I do digress. Let's get on to the story about Teddy Boy in the lyrics. The kind of other side of, yes, memoirs didn't necessarily say that, any Theodore Adorno had anything to do with the actual song Teddy Boy, but just the fact that they're calling him Teddy Boy. Yeah, and let's just see what Billy has to say about that inspiration. So he goes on, he starts, "My second cousin Ted is the son of my cousin Betty Dan, her who was a big influence on me musically. She loved singing and introduced me to songs like My Funny Valentine and Till There Was You, which I later performed with the Beatles." Wait, yeah, Biological Paul performed that one with the Beatles, right? That was before Billy stepped in. See, I'm reading this like it's Billy. I'm like, wait a minute here. Have to remember, this is the veiled story. I have to remind myself that, guys. It's crazy. Okay, so anyways, She was married to a guy called Mike Robbins. They brought their kids up surrounded by a lot of music. Ted was their first boy, so that's partly why I refer to him as Teddy Boy. It's an affectionate term, as I am just over 10 years older than him. But the Teddy Boys were also the ruffians of my youth, the guys who wore long frock coats with velvet collars, drainpipe trousers, and crepe sole shoes. Their shoes were known as beetle crushers or brothel creepers. These Teddy Boys were notable in the UK for hanging around street corners, waiting for a little aggro. Just, waiting to start shit with people. So Ted is the jumping off point for the song, but as usual, it takes its own cues and puts on its own show. The tales about a soldier dad are purely imagination. The lines, Teddy Boy's here, Teddy's gonna see you through, are what I imagine Teddy saying to his mum when he was trying to support her. It's not too much of a stretch to connect this psychodrama to two sources. One is the terrible sense of loss I still feel about my mother. Teddy is then a version of myself, trying to console myself while purportedly consoling my mother. Okay. The other is that Teddy Boy was written during that oddly productive time we spent in India in 1968. The Beatles actually did several takes of it in the early 1969 for the Let It Be film. They were mostly acoustic takes with a little electric guitar from George Harrison. But there was a bit of tension between us all, and it wasn't released until I included it on my first solo record, McCartney, which came out in 1970. Ted actually went on to have a successful career as an entertainer, like his dad. The whole family is steeped in showbiz. Steeped in showbiz. That's a little curious to me. I don't know. Again, I don't want to be like reaching, and just looking for stuff, to find curious, but you just have to wonder with him because we all know that he is known to be what the Masons call a masterful speaker. So if you notice, here is just the lyrics, a page of the lyrics, and then the handwritten lyrics of Teddy Boy. And then, so very lastly, guys, I thought that I would do something kind of fun. I was looking at an ad today for the Paul McCartney, the 7-inch singles box. And I decided to kind of play around with the numerology. And so first off, there's two different parts of the advert that I kind of did numbers on. So please humor me here and walk through it with me if you're interested in this. So the first one will be the Paul McCartney, the 7-inch singles. Singles, there are 80 singles. Tracks, there are 159 tracks. Okay, so we are looking at first the 7 plus 8, the 7-inch and the 80 singles. You do 7 plus 8 plus 0, you get 15, and then 15 reduces to 1 plus 5 equals 6. Billy. Sixes with Billy, right? Okay, so then we get down to the next one where it is tracks, 159. So how I see that right there is, of course, 1, 1 plus 5 is 6. And then you have 6 and 9 left over. What is, that all about? Yeah, it's Billy and McCartney in the singles. Again, he's using this numerology to tell us, that Paul, biological Paul, was included in this singles as well as him, just as in the lyrics. In the memoirs, he does that. He includes both his and Paul's numerology, 6 and 9, in the amount of pages and chapters and all of that stuff. So there's always something with his numerology. Okay, so then the next advert page is Paul McCartney, the 7-inch singles box, available the 2nd of December. So first off, we have 7, the number 7. 7 equals perfection or a fullness in life. Again, it is a divine number that shows a perfection of some sort, right? And then, so I broke down the date in 2 different ways. So if you look at the date as, so I'm going to do this the English way because that's how the advert is. So you put the date, the day first, and then the month, and then the year. So that would be 2 plus 12 plus 22. That's how I'm doing this particular version. So then you get 27. And then 2 plus 7 reduces to 9. Who is 9? McCartney. Again, which is really strange. But then if you are to do the date with the full year attached to it, which would be 2 plus 12 plus 42, basically. That gives you 47. 4 plus 7 equals 11. And again, you guys, 11 is the number of power. It's a number of duality as well, because there's 2 of them. It's like a contentment of some sort, because you have, number 10 is a full completion. 11 is, and like we said in the high rose numbers, anything that is higher than 10 is considered a metaphysical or supernatural trait in accordance with the numbers that are being shown. So you get 9 and you get 11 in those different breakdowns of the date. And what do we all know about the way the elite use 9/11 and so many of their different things, right? Because 9/11 means illumination. It means full enlightenment. Bam. The numbers always count with him, Mr. Billy McCartney. And yes, there's your duality right there. It's Billy, but he's also Paul McCartney. So that is why I call him Billy McCartney. I think I've told you guys that before. Anyways, that's what I have for you guys tonight. Just kind of a fun little walkthrough of a few different things that I noticed, and I just wanted to share with you guys. So I hope you found them entertaining, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm very, very curious to know what you guys think. And please like and subscribe, and please comment, get my algorithms going up a little bit. I appreciate every single one of you guys so much for subscribing and checking out my videos. So until next time, guys, I will say goodbye, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.
Just a good replica. Just a good replica. Just a good replica. Just a good replica.
I don't try and analyze too much. I think it's dangerous. It's like believing your own myth, you know? We mean walrus.
No, I just think it's basically magic. There is such a thing as magic. And the Beatles was magic. Life is an energy field. And, you know, it's just a bunch of molecules, you know? These particular molecules formed to make these four guys that then formed into this band called the Beatles. Did all that work. And, you know, I have to think there's what we humans call magic. Something metaphysical, something very alchemic, something very magical happened. The songs were very well structured. I think there just is also a physical strength to them. I think that it's well done. But I do think the main thing is it is something that must be, you know, thought it was magic with a K. Magic with a K. Magic with a K.
It was too far out for us to have thought of it, you know.
Am I being too far out or what?